Hello everyone, it's Dev again. So I'm back out in the Suboverland, and today is Sunday, and my ex and I got quite a bit done today. We actually had part of the drawer already built, and we just had to install them today. So this has been just like a week-long process, just a little bit each time. But here we are finally, and they're all installed. And I think they look great. This is my 20-inch drawer here on the inside, and for my handles I use this leather buffalo strap, and he found these nice copper colored screws to put them in, so they're not all, yucky silver screws like that, because I didn't want that. I wanted something that looked nice, and he went and found those today at the hardware store. So that's my drawer pull, and they're full extension drawers, and they're still pretty stiff right now, but they'll loosen up a little bit. And right here, this back board and the front board too, it's a little bit taller. He mismeasured, and he was going to take it and cut that down, but you can see that it's not interfering with anything. And so we just left it like that because nobody is really even going to see it. And so I screwed this drawer together today. He had nailed it together for me, and then I went in and put in all the screws and everything. We've got a drawer face right here, and we're pretty much out of usable wood, unfortunately. I'm not done. I still have to make shelves for in here, and I've got uprights I've got to do, and we're pretty much out of wood that's big enough to do the rest of it. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to go and buy another piece of plywood, but that'll be okay. It's still pretty tight, but it'll loosen up, so I'm not worried about it. And that's my plank, and this was 1 1/4 inch wide strapping, and so I cut them at 8 inches long and just left enough gap in there to put my hand. And so down here, this was only a 1/2 inch wide that I could get, and so I had to take this leather strap that I bought, and I had to cut 1/2 inch pieces, 2 1/2 inch pieces, one for in here and one for the outside. And so because this drawer face is in the way, it's kind of awkward to open it like that, so I'm just gonna have to pretty much open it like that. And that's pretty ugly, that line there, but it's necessary for me when I'm pulling this drawer out on the back side, because that line there will tell me when to stop because of the internal supports under the drawer. I don't know if you can see that. Those slats going across, those are what is supporting my platform. Excuse me. And so when I'm out there on that side, I can pull it out all the way until I reach this red line. So that's kind of ugly and unbecoming, but it's a necessary thing. And so whatever. But when I'm in here, I'll be the only one really seeing it. And I'll probably just have my fan there, or maybe if I have to make coffee in here, I can put my little electric burner here and do that. But yeah, I'll have to pull it out from underneath rather than like that. But that's okay. And we've got, on the other side is a 36-inch drawer, because this whole area from front to back was 56 inches. So I got a 36-inch slide for the back and a 20-inch slide for here, and it just fits. Like on the inside, you couldn't have gotten it any closer, no closer at all. And there is a little bit of a gap here, but I don't think that's really going to hurt anything. I'm not worried about it. So let me come out here. Sorry about the wind and everything. So this is the back drawer, the back slide out here, and see, I'll have to reach out, I'll have to reach under and pull it out, but it comes out. I've got a mark right here, that red mark, that means I'm at the first set of supports, and this is as much support as I can get, but we have 2 extra supports right here, so if I want to pull it out even further, I just wait for that red line, and that red line says I have to stop, and then that means I have a lot more countertop out here. It's not quite as sturdy because obviously almost the whole thing is pulled out, so for the most part I only want to pull it out to right there and use it unless for some reason I really need that extra, 8 to 10 inches or whatever that is. But it pulls in and out pretty easily. I think it looks nice. Oh, it's really windy. Oh, I'm sorry you guys. But this one's really stiff because it just barely fits in there. Width-wise, it just barely fits. So there is a little bit of strain on these slides, but hopefully nothing that's going to hurt it or anything like that. But it's also a full extension, 36 inches. And that's the facing board. We just put 4 screws in there. My neighbors are out. I'm trying to be quiet. And then the other thing we did was made a bunch of holes here. We got a 1-inch hole saw and drilled all the way down, because the vent isn't that big, but because I really don't have very much space here. Like, look at this. I'm supposed to have 4 to 8 inches of ventilation, so I'm really pushing my luck. But the vent itself only comes up to right here, but I went ahead and made holes all the way to the top as far as I could, just to give it as much ventilation as possible. And on this side, I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be sitting here, but I'm going to try to make it so that I'm not covering up all those holes. But over here, as you can see, we did the same thing over here, but right there. But then on the other side of that is the drawer. So on that side, I'm afraid we're not going to get as much ventilation as I would like. But at least it's something. And again, this has a gap here, but then I've got the facing board here, so I don't know if that's going to be enough ventilation. But the holes go all the way to the top, just like on the other side, and we've got that gap that goes all the way to the back basically. But then again, I've got these facing boards, and that may be negating that whole area of circulation. But I mean, if you look, there's that gap. It won't close any more than that. So maybe it'll be okay. I hope so. I don't want them to overheat or anything. But you can see after we put that Reflectix on that it's just a tight fit. Like, now it has no wiggle room at all, which is good, because when we had it in there before, there was actually a little bit of play. And sorry, mosquitoes biting me. And so now with the Reflectix in here, there's no play at all. It doesn't move at all. So this was actually perfect. It was just the perfect amount to fill in everything. So it's not going anywhere, guys, except for when I want it to go somewhere, because we might have to take it out again if we're going to do some other woodwork around here, but that's okay. Right now I can open it and get into it, which is cool, but I'm not going to be able to do that once the shelf is in here, because we're going to make a shelf all the way from the back up to here, and then we're going to have 2 pieces of wood come up and join that shelf, and my power station will sit there, and then right above that will be another shelf right there, and then that means I'll only have, that much space for another shelf, but I'll just have to deal with it, and just however I can. But that shelf can only come out to here, so that'll be that. I still don't know what I'm going to do over here. I want to be able to make some kind of divider to divide the front from the back, kind of like that one, but that's going to be really hard to do with this strange shape and everything, but we'll get it figured out. It's coming along slowly but surely. And we still haven't figured out what we're gonna do for locks on these. We're still thinking about it because now it's not flush, so I can't do like I did down here because it's not flush. I was thinking about doing that up here, or maybe just one of those the hooks and a little loop, and just real simple or whatever, or just maybe a hook on this side and a hook on that side and just bungee it. I don't know. That won't look the best, so I'm gonna try to figure out something that, you know, looks halfway decent and everything, because that doesn't look too bad, I guess. Alright, you guys, that is my update for this week. I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.